being satisfied. Aaron Glenn talked about winners doing things differently at practice. Now, just moving forward the next couple of weeks, what do you expect this team on the verge of the playoffs, doing big things? How do you expect them to practice maybe even a little bit differently?
Well, I think it's, you should want more. I think that's what real competitors, that's how you view things, man. It's on to the next thing, and how can we make it even better than it is? What is the next task? What's the next obstacle to overcome? And I think that's the mindset of our team. I think we've done a good job. The players have done a good job. Practice has been, we've been good. So, we know we got a big task here in front of us. This is a good team. They're going to be looking for a win. They play well at home. But that's where you're at. We're in December. Everybody's playing pretty good football now, especially, this team we're getting ready to play. So we just got to play clean football, be ready to go.
You seem locked in this week, but there hasn't been that complacency that you sort of warned about.
Yeah, guys, I feel like this is business as usual. I feel that, and like I say, all you can do is just make a point of it and you go about it. And now, that being said, there's going to be, I just bring it up, there's going to be nothing easy about going into Dallas, to play these guys, and so there'll be ebbs and flows of the game. This will be another one that's going to come down to the end of the game. It'll come down to the wire. But as long as we're emotionally, psychologically ready, which I believe we will be, we'll have a good chance.
Statistically, Dak's, I think, the leading quarterback in third down conversions, but particularly when he leaves the pocket, sometimes to run, sometimes to pass. How difficult is he to defend in that situation?
He's very difficult. He's, and that's part of, there's a number of things he does well. He's a complete quarterback. He does everything well. He can, it's hard to disguise against him. He can see it. He can see it early. He can adjust the protections. He knows where to go with the football. He's very calm and composed with pressure on him. And then he's got that escapability. He can escape in the pocket to make a throw, but he can also use his legs to get downfield. And not only that, every once in a while they'll throw out one of these read-run RPOs where he takes off, and it's he can kill you. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he's playing at a high level, and we know that. We got to do our best to try to make it as much as we can make them one-dimensional. We have to do that.
It's a couple years ago now, but Micah Parsons has said that he thought you guys were taking him in the draft a few years ago. I'm just curious if the player he's become is the player you saw, or if he's even out or exceeded your own projections for maybe his versatility and things like that.
Yeah, I know this. He was coming out. The talent was certainly there. He's a. What you see is what he is. He is a rare talent, and there was always exactly what will be best for him. Is it to stack him a little bit and use him? Is it to put him on the line and let him go? Is it maybe some of the coverage and so what is really, and he can do all of it, but what he's really excelled at is being able to play on the end of the line and rush. That's number one, where he is at his best and the most dangerous. No, I'm not surprised the type of player he is. He's a dynamic football player, and he's got a quick first step. He's explosive. He's got a counter step. He does a great job of moving. He'll move an offensive lineman, and he can counter back faster than most. So, he's somebody we've got our eyes on, like every opponent does. Everybody's, you got to take care of him, or he'll eat you alive.
Jared about it earlier this week, but how much do you appreciate the timing of this game right now? You guys finishing the season out, entering the playoffs soon, but just the timing of facing Dallas at this point is like somewhat of a measuring stick as well before you enter that. How much do you appreciate it?
It's perfect. It couldn't have. You couldn't write a better script. For what you just said, it gives you a real good idea of where you're at, because this is one of the top teams in the NFC. It just is. So, and we're out at their place, where they play their best football. Their backs against the wall. So you're going to get their very best shot. Coach McCarthy's done a heck of a job with that team. So I think it's perfect. I really do. And it is. We'll find out exactly what it is, and then we'll move on from there.
CeeDee Lamb, I think he has 10 touchdowns in 9 games, leads the league in catches. What's kind of helped him reestablish himself as like one of these premier wide receivers coming up?
Well, first of all, he's a heck of a football player, right? He's got versatility to play. He can play in the slot. He can play at the single receiver. They can go 4-by-1, get him isolated. Plays at number 3 in a 3-by-1, and he's got enough speed to get over the top. He can run the option routes. He's shooting. Put him in the backfield like Saint, give him some carries, which they're doing a little bit of. So he's got this versatility. He's crafty, and he's a very smart football player. That's what shows up. And so, that's where it starts. They're doing a great job of using that to their advantage and putting him in all those spots to find the best matchup they can find and just going after it. Like, that's what, when they find a weakness that they like, they'll just use him and exploit him as much as they can or as long as they can until that dries up, and then they move him somewhere else and keep going with it. So he's had a heck of a year. He's had a monster year. And so, like I say, Coach McCarthy's done a great job of what they're doing scheme-wise of finding ways to get him the football.
Practice yesterday. I'm just curious what his outlook looks like for this week.
Hey, he's good. He'll be good. Yeah, he'll be out there. We're just, being smart with him.
What about CJ? Have you made a decision on activating him?
No, look, he's even better than last week. He's looking pretty good, and it's just another chance to get him going. Well, Brad and I will talk about it, after we get done today. He'll be out there practicing again.
Does the play of Iffy change that conversation at all, considering he's playing at such a high level?
I'm sorry.
Does the play of Iffy change the conversation at all because he's playing at a high level right now?
Well, yeah, and I mean, look, yeah, Iffy's playing really good football, and look, Kirby's doing a good job, but everybody just assumes, well, Iffy is it Iffy or CJ? Well, why? Why would you assume that? So when he comes back, we got options. We got really good options. We got football players, playmakers, and so it's a great problem to have.
Jerry Jones as well. He said that what you're doing is so appropriate for the game of football. He had really high praise for you and what you've been able to do here in Detroit. I guess as you're going back to Texas as well, man, just to have that respect across the league and in your home state, man, what does that mean for you as well?
I mean, Mr. Jones was always good to me, as a player. It was those 3 years I was there. It was a great experience around a lot of good people, and and there again, just when you grow up there and you're a Cowboys fan, it means a lot. So, I think if anything, when you feel like people acknowledge the things you're doing or the way you're doing them, the style at which you go about your business, and they acknowledge it, that's a good feeling. You feel like, all right, you feel like you're doing things the right way. So, it's flattering, but it's, also know they want to beat us into the ground. So, and we want to do the same. So that's part of the league.
You got any favorite Jerry Jones stories from your time there? Different kind of owner, obviously.
No, look, he's always around now. He's at every practice, meetings. He was there 24/7, so obviously very invested in it. I mean, he wants to win as bad as anybody does. And, but he knew everything about the players. He knew everything about what you were going into that week, the schemes, but no, I'm not going to give you one story, He was good. He's an owner that cares, I can tell you that.
Last 2 weeks, you won the coin toss and elected to receive. What's your thought process around that strategy?
Yeah, well, let's try something new. Let's go another route here. And, some of it goes into the, third quarter, are we better off, getting our defense out there and they give us a better start, and our offense is better suited to start the game out. So it was just, let's change it up a little bit. It's been good for us the last 2 weeks. Denver, we didn't score, but we moved it until really it was our own errors. But, it's been a good thing, and our offense has been pretty good, especially on the road. We don't really, I do feel good about our guys don't get frazzled. It's an experienced group. So the crowd noise, you're getting the ball first, all that, I feel like we're in a really good place. Goff's in a good place to where we're, for the most part, unaffected by that. So it was like, why not start out with the ball if we win the toss?
Evaluate on a game-to-game basis, or?
Yeah, most of the time I'd like to defer, but I just felt like these last 2 games, let's give this a go and change it up and see what it feels like. So
with all the really good tight ends in the league, including your own, Ferguson of Dallas doesn't seem to get the attention the others? He seems to be an under the radar, really good player.
Yeah, well, I think what he is he's a lunch pail guy. You know, he's got a little bit of throwback tight end to him. He's crafty enough, physical enough to get open in the pass game and make some critical first down catches. But he does all the dirty work. He's got a nasty demeanor about him. I respect his game. And no, I mean, look, the first thing everybody looks at is that you want to see the catches, and that's the first thing your eyes go to. But if you just turn on the tape and watch, he's a good, solid football player at tight end position.